Hello, Hyper Peaches. Welcome to our 17th episode. I'm Erica.
And I'm Joyce.
Hello, Joyce.
Hello, how are you?
I am all right. It's the beginning of the week. It's not the best day of the week, and it's after a long weekend, so feeling kind of
That's true. The day after long weekend is the day of So, in conclusion,
Yeah, but I just did my nails, so that is
saw, yeah, you told
something
me.
to boost my, Monday blues.
Yeah, I feel like doing your nails definitely boosts your mood. So, how would you rate? I guess
Oh, reading it. It's
you
like
don't have to
6
rate
for me.
6 for you, really?
Yeah, 6 out of 10. Because it's just like nothing special, nothing's really happening. Weather is kind of shitty,
Yes.
and it was supposed to be a 5. That's the nails help, so it's a 6.
6 now? Okay. I am the same. I would go, I was thinking like, should I say 7? Because we've been saying 8 for a long time and 6 feels very low. But you know what? After our talk just now before this podcast, definitely a 6. Just, I think,
Wait, it went back down after our talk?
no, as in
Shit.
like I had to regroup myself because I was
Okay.
debating like, I didn't know where 7 stood, but 6 feels more accurate.
Yeah. It's a bit of a 6. But I mean, well, ask me again this weekend because we're doing something exciting.
We are. Hopefully, fingers crossed, weather is not as bad as last weekend.
Oh yes, please don't rain.
Why does it,
Please.
can someone explain why does it only rain when it's a weekend and holiday?
Huh. Well, because people just don't like, not people, the sun, the rain, the weather.
Just don't
Doesn't
like
like
us.
us, Hong
Like
Kong.
to play with us. Play with our
Feels like
emotions.
too many people out. COVID's still there. You guys better stay home.
I want
And
to
watch
ask
Netflix.
you, I want to
Yeah.
ask you about COVID. Like, how is COVID? Like, I feel like I'm at that stage where I'm just like, how can I say comfortable with it? Like it's like it's
COVID?
so yeah, it's so old news. It's like oh, wearing a mask is a reflex for me, and then like spraying my hand like 10 times every time I touch something is a reflex. Like it's very normal, and it's I don't know
It
how
is
I feel
a
about it.
reflex, but I still wouldn't enjoy it. Like the
Yeah.
only thing that I'm asking for is to go out without a mask. That's it. And stop canceling events because of COVID. Like it's so old. Like Hong Kong is like it's like 10 years behind, you know. Nobody cancels their fucking events anymore. It's just get it over with.
A lot of countries don't even do quarantine anymore. So
Seriously, like stop counting. It's just a number.
it is just
1,000,
a
2,000,
number.
it
Like
doesn't matter to me.
maybe I don't want to know there's 2,000 cases today because that's not going to solve the issue. That's just going to make me panic more, you know?
Exactly.
So I'd rather
And
not
I'm
know.
sure as long as people are vaccinated,
Mm-hmm.
well, most people would just, be able to live through COVID, hopefully.
Yeah.
Stay safe, stay
Well,
guys.
I think on the bright side, like I think me and you, we're gonna have a nice summer. We're definitely gonna go out and do more activities
Yeah.
together, do the things that we like, going
I
to the
want to
beach.
do more outdoor activity because for the last 2 years feels a little like
Indoory.
indoory for me because I just
Yeah.
don't want to wear a mask out there when it's summer. So
Yeah.
kind of just, if we can go to the beach a little more often or like go hiking. Well, maybe not hiking exactly in this
I
weather,
think it's
but
very hot.
we'll find things to do.
We'll go
Yeah.
to the beach.
Yes, please.
Okay, I think this week, like I really wanna we can are you done with
Did
updating?
you
Like we
see
can
what I just Did you just see what I did with the outline?
I don't know, you did some really stupid thing. You're trying to clean up the Google Doc, and I'm like, okay. Thank you.
Because of work, I would like all my drafting, it has to be, what is this thing called? You have to be like completely aligned.
Okay.
Both sides, both edges. So it's just the OCD.
Yeah, it's just to make yourself feel better.
It looks better this way.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, this week I think let's jump in and just start talking about it. And it's something that we briefly touch base on, but I think this episode we can definitely go more in depth. I think I'll start first, and then we can.
Yeah, please.
I think just to segue for this conversation, after coming back from travel for a month and a half, and then now it's just really getting back to work mode is on. So I've just been like thinking a lot about it, and it's more of course in my head, and just to long story short, telling people what I do. Yes,
you're oriented.
Oh, me?
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I just
like making comments on my own. Yeah, go ahead.
I just try to be career oriented, but I like to party too, so so yeah, just long story short, a little background of what I do. I currently work at a creative agency that is locally based in Hong Kong. And yeah, what I do is I feel like I don't have a set kind of title, because it's more like whatever project that comes on and whatever I could do or whatever I can help out, I just kind of play that role and play my part. So you could say I am an account manager, or I'm an account manager or project manager, or sometimes a producer at times, depending on if we have photo shoots or video shoots, and just like project management with like tracking the timeline or finding talents, finding photographers, sometimes have to do finance, like budgeting as well, helping out, and yeah, sometimes just trying to connect with people and see if they want to work with us. And I would say, and this, like this could be really one of my favorite jobs that I've done for all these years, and it's definitely one of my dream jobs. Like I always wanted to do something like PR related or like event related, that I could talk to people and engage with people, and I could do different things, and I could like participate in like photo shoots, and like just see things that are coming to life. And creative space is something that I've always been thinking about, and I know I really enjoy, and it's always in the back of my head. And the fact that I was able to do this and I can do this as a living, I'm really grateful for it. And I just can't wait to talk about more.
Sounds very interesting, your job.
Yeah, okay, let me ask you this. Like, how do you know when a job is like
one for you?
Yeah, the one for you. How do you know? What is that gut instinct that is like, aha, so to the point,
Good question. I think it's I always heard this. You don't have to love your job, because loving is it's kind of like a very overrated word, because love is not a very long-lasting feeling. But at least you don't hate it. Like you can bear with the feeling of waking up every day and coming to your workplace to start doing it. Because like you have to be doing this job at least 5 days a week, 40 hours in. You cannot deal with that if you hate it.
Yes, totally agree. That's a good indication, right, of knowing that I could definitely do this long term, and I can see myself not whining about it, just like really really growing out of the working process and being the best version of yourself, right?
Yes, agree. But also, like, a lot of people seek different things out of their career. I guess for us, we could be like, the both of us are still in that kind of like aggressive stage where we really need to get that satisfaction out of our job. We keep looking for improvement. We want to be establishing things or creating things. But some people are just very okay with the stability. Like they don't mind coming in every day and doing the same job. Like they can't tell you if they hate it, they love it. They were just like, I don't care. I just need the money. Like I'm okay with my 9 to 5 sitting there and just gossiping with colleagues every day, and then
a mediocre
get their
job.
cup of tea, yeah, and then just leave at 6. Like I don't know, this would literally be my worst nightmare.
Yeah, I
Agree.
think so too. I so agree. And
It's so boring.
even if it's like, I can't bear the fact that, like, I know for some people, like, money is a factor. Like, the monetary aspect of a job is really important of the indication of, what career or what job you take, right? And
Yeah.
I'm very fortunate to kind of take up a job that is, I won't say is in the highest ranking. Like, it's obviously not comparable to doctors, to surgeons, right? But the fact that I am able to support myself and being able to do the thing that I love at the same time, it's very, very rewarding, and it's just pure gratefulness. And I get how some people, I don't know where I'm going through this. I just want to comment that, like, some people maybe, like, they don't love their job, but they have to stick with it. The fact that it just pays better,
Yeah,
but they might whine about
we're
it.
very fortunate.
Yeah,
we're very fortunate to have the choice, at least.
Yeah, the choice to find a path that you like. So
yeah, exactly. So
talk about you. I want to talk about your new job.
Well, for those listeners who haven't tuned in before, I currently work as a trainee solicitor at a law firm. So basically, a trainee lawyer or attorney, whatever you call that. And I just started with this new firm, which I'm really, really enjoying it. It gives me the kind of flexibility with the job, the kind of diversity with the job nature itself, like the kind of cases that I take in with my clients is pretty different, like case by case, compared to previously. It's just a lot of transactional work. Like each transaction is pretty much the same except for the amount for the transaction, or like the parties involved. So also that I realized I'm actually not very good at very robotic work. Like if I have to do 100 transactions, I feel like I would get at least 2 to 3 of them wrong. But this that requires me to think, to do more analysis, and to learn different things every day. It is very rewarding to me. So yeah, so basically what I have to do is just handle different cases. I have to, how a lawyer does their job. You have to make negotiation is not exactly, I mean, sometimes, yeah, negotiation, mostly a lot of drafting, and sometimes attending the courts, and a lot of organizational work. But yeah, I feel like the fascinating thing, now I'm talking like a nerd. The fascinating thing about law is that it's really like a never ending learning curve. In the sense that, because besides the voluminous amounts of readings that you have to do when you're in law school, because law kind of aligns with policies, right? And policies, they change, especially in a place like Hong Kong. There's change in the kind of speed that you don't even, like, you can hardly even pick up with. So keep up with, sorry. So yeah, you have to be really updated with what's going on in the society, and that in itself feels like a challenge to me. Like every day is a challenge to me, at least for now, because, well, I'm still a trainee. So for me, it's just, if I'm able to get through this period and to at least be able to bullshit something when people ask me, just in general anything about law, I would be very proud of myself.
I don't think you'll bullshit. I think you'll give them good facts, right?
I hope so. I hope so, because there's just too much to learn about this area.
Yeah. And the fact that I think what is important in a job is the willingness to stay curious. You know what I mean? Like if you're just working and it's like it's good that you know all your things, like you know what you need to do, and you don't need to seek guidance. But I think the fact that if you have the willingness to stay curious and question things and do your own research or want to go above and beyond, I think that's the best reward, right?
That's kind of what I've been trying to remind myself of, because I guess coming from a local school, I've been very used to being spoon-fed with knowledge. Like, I don't think I'm the kind to ask a lot of questions.
Yes.
I just kind of take it all in. Like, yeah, I just take it all in. And if I really do have questions, which normally come after a while, like as in after 1 or 2 days, then I will pop that question.
Yeah.
But you know how like those people who could really think very fast on their feet, they know how to ask the right question at the right time.
Yeah.
The skill.
That's a skill. That's a knowledge.
Yeah. It's so hard.
Because I think a lot of times, like a lot of companies, what they're seeking for, I feel like it's not even like they're not seeking for an individual, they're not seeking for a human being. They're seeking for someone that could just do the things that they already know how to do, you know. And it's just like sometimes it's not no brainer. They don't want your creativity, they don't want your opinion, right? It's just like they want someone to put in that 40 hours of work and just get the job done, right? It's almost like you don't have the value of you does not matter in a company, and that's when you know that's not the company for you, you know.
Exactly. I think everyone, like, it's just like the one, like you find the one job that really suits you.
Yes. I always like now more and more when I think about it, like an interview is a first date. A relationship is like finding the one that's for you. It's finding the one perfect job that's for you. It's not, I'm not saying perfect in the sense that's like, oh, it's better than everybody. It's you win other people. It's not even about that. It's more like,
I mean, there's no even perfect boyfriend.
Exactly.
So.
It's the perfectness comes from like how it fits you like a perfect glove, how it fits you like the perfect pair of shoes, how it fits you like your favorite sundress, you know. It's the way it makes you feel about yourself that hits different.
Exactly. Like you can tell when you're glowing in a relationship, work-wise or love-wise.
Yeah, it's like it's like this. Like when you were talking about you at like your new job right now at this new law firm as a trainee solicitor, like your face.
I'm glowing.
You're glowing. Maybe it's the computer light. I don't know. Let's say that you're just.
I'm sorry, it's the grease on my face.
Maybe you just need to take a shower.
I will after this.
No, it just, I feel like it makes a big difference. So
it really does.
Yeah,
it really.
How do you feel? I would say like compared to your previous jobs and your previous years of interning. What are some things that you have learned previously that you really took it to yourself now, and then you're like, ooh, like I think this was really helpful, or oh, this is some aspects that I enjoyed or I didn't like. What was the experience through that?
I guess, well, of course, because I interned at some law firms, and also I also worked at as a paralegal at some law firms before. So legal knowledge, that's definitely one of those things that I have taken to my current job. But I'm not gonna bore you with the technical stuff. I guess more so of your attitude. Like when I started working as an intern, it's a lot of messing around. Seriously, like I was watching Suits at one of my internships, and I was watching Game of Thrones at the other one. I just didn't give a fuck, and people could just tell. Like, there's one thing that I've learned from my previous job is that don't ever underestimate the impression that you leave on people, and just think that it doesn't matter because, well, Hong Kong is so small. There would come a time where people, like your new employee, your employer would just go to your old employer and ask, how do you feel about Erica? How would you rate her as an employee? And that's when you know, shit, you fucked up.
Dang.
Yeah. I mean, I hope I haven't really come across that, but there are definitely instances where I feel like if I could have done better, if I have been more, at least diligent or hardworking as an employee, then it like things would have come, smoother.
That makes
more
sense.
the way for me.
I mean,
How about you?
Well, for me, I would say two of my jobs or previous jobs before this, working at a creative agency, was a little different. Whereas like the first real job I had after I graduated was like working at a hotel, and it was a sales job. So it was mostly just learning how to pitch and how to make a deal, how to make minimum deals per month and hit that rate. And that was stressful in itself, right? The whole concept of it was, how do you sell people a product that you, of course, have to believe in, but then how do you make others to believe in when they know nothing about it, or when they don't even want to spend time about it, but you have to do it as a job, right? And I think,
but like, yeah,
no, go for it.
sorry, so you are a more more of an extrovert. So when I first met you, I would also perceive you to be like a like you could become a salesperson, but you don't actually enjoy that.
No, because at some point it gets really tired. Like it's almost like it's the same, you're selling the same thing. And it's like the way you sell it, it's the same too. Like, I mean, there's probably like 20,000, like let's say there's 200 ways you can sell this product. One way you sell it, the person will, like, 1 out of 200 people will buy that kind of convincing way. But when I'm done with these 200 like excuses or like these sales pitches over and over again after a year, it gets really repetitive. And I feel like just like the nature of it is not something that I can see myself doing 10-15 years later. And I think for me, I don't think I'm a good salesperson, because I try to hard sell someone. Say I try to sell you a phone, and then I believe it for 5 minutes, but then 10 minutes later I'm like super tired and my mouth gets dry, and I'm like, wait a second, like I don't want to bore you. You seem tired. Maybe you shouldn't listen to my pitch. Maybe you should go rest. So then I downplay it, and then it like ruins it. That happened like once or twice.
Yeah. I feel you, because I've met some really great or like really aggressive salespeople.
Yes.
They never, like, they have convinced themselves to the point that even in their breath and their
yes. when they're sleeping,
it smells sales. Like they truly believes in their product.
Exactly.
There's nothing that can defeat that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That takes how much skills, because it's like you can probably convince yourself, right? But how long can that last, right?
It's almost like a cult,
Yeah, it is. I'm not, okay, by all means, I'm not saying a salesperson is a bad career job, because I think it takes these people to sell the product, because or else a product is just made and then it's just sitting there and then it's gonna die, right?
Exactly.
So I think they are really important people too in the industry, but it's definitely not for everybody. It takes a specific type of people to do this kind of intensive job, I would say. So I think through that, like I did learn a lot of stuff, whereas I have to talk fast, I have to think fast, I have to read people's mind within seconds, I have to think on my feet what they want to hear, what they don't want to hear. And it's just a lot of like kind of people mind reading. in a sense.
People
At
skills.
people skills, because all you do is you have to talk, and you have to talk at the right, use the right
Read
pitch.
the room.
Exactly. And I guess the second job was more of an office job. It was more really just design focused. And I was basically working at a clothing manufacturing job, and they had a R&D, like research and development department, which was only like 2D people, and I was one of them. So I was just helping them to like do a lot of Photoshop work, a lot of illustration work on just padding, like say a logo to this new jacket, like how would I want the logo to go, or what color would go through, what pattern is upcoming, or what new fabrics we need to source. So just like a lot of textile based knowledge that I had to know. And yeah, I really enjoyed that. But I think I wanted to expand more to different industries. And just like the job nature was also very single minded. And I think, but throughout that, I really learned how to pay attention to detail, and I'm really not good at that. And this is something that I still really need to learn. And I think for a designer, and being a really good designer is paying all the detail, like attention to detail, as in like when you know people can't pick it up, but you can pick it out. That's when you know you're good at that job.
I mean, I guess that is for every job, attention to detail.
That's true.
If you want to make it to up there, then you need to be even more detail oriented than most others. That's how you can stand out, right?
That's true.
That is one thing
that takes time, right? Because it takes
So
time for you to familiarize yourself in that industry to know what you can pick out and pinpoint, right?
Yeah. I mean, everyone goes to that job for like 8 hours every day.
Yeah.
If you want to stand out, you need to pay like the extra 2-3 hours every day when everyone else is just like chilling.
Damn.
And go home,
take the
do your
extra hour.
homework. Yeah. And just familiarize yourself with everything. That's how you can spot the details or like ask the right questions.
Your willingness also is your willingness and eagerness to go above and beyond, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's also one thing that you know that you are enjoying the job, because you have the urge, you have the passion to try to make it up there.
Yeah.
Like you really want to improve.
Yeah.
For no reason.
Oh yeah.
Like I go to work pretty early these days. Like I want to work at least more than an hour before everyone else. And like my coworker was telling me, oh, there's no reason to do that. Like people wouldn't know. Like we don't have that like cat system.
Yeah.
Like, people just wouldn't know. But I was telling my coworker, like it's not about that. It's not even about trying to impress people, but it's more like I'm the newbie, and I also really, really want to improve myself, although I'm not exactly working every single second, but it's just I want to build that mindset. I guess it's a sign that, oh, you really want to improve. And yeah.
You're self-motivating yourself, and you're pushing yourself to be better, and you don't need someone to micromanage you to be like, yo, you have to go to work at 8:30 and I'm gonna see you there. Exactly. I mean, this is even better, right? Because you're willing to do that. That makes the whole process.
You know what? I think flexible work, like flexi working or whatever the people call it, flexi working hours or like flexible working environment actually works. But only if your employees are the type of employees that really enjoy like their work and are working for a purpose, not just there to kill time.
I agree. And I think that this mindset, like the flexible working hours, sounds really nice, just really well packaged and just a lot of freedom. But like I also think that like it does depend on every like different people, right? Like some people work better under like a time constraint, or like some people work better at a more kind of structural work setting
environment. Yeah.
Some people want their managers to give them direct feedback, direct work instructions, whereas some people want to kind of figure out themselves or ask their own questions and work that way. So I don't know. Like I think for me, like I'm getting used to like flexible working hours because for me, I really do work when I'm like in a good mood, or when I'm just like not feeling it, then I know that whatever work that I do, I'm not going to deliver it anyways, and it's not time effective. Then I might as well just take a quick nap, or I might as well just take a shower or watch my favorite YouTuber and just chill out, and then go back and then work 10 times more effective, you know?
Yeah.
So
I mean, yeah, that's when, I mean, if you're working for like towards the end goal of getting that thing really done effectively, then it doesn't really matter what time you work.
exactly.
Who the fuck cares what time you come into work, or
No one
how
cares.
much, how long of a toilet break you take?
Exactly. Oh, I
Yeah,
can.
that's so stupid.
Is there?
So,
Oh, you go.
sorry. No, you go, you go.
I was gonna ask you, like, is there someone that throughout your career path, your career, I don't even know what to say, your timeline, is there anyone in particular that you find that you always look up to? And what are some things that um yeah, you learn and you just find very motivational for yourself?
Mm, honestly, I would say everyone. Because,
Thank you.
yeah, including you, since since we're kind of working together
We're
right
kind of
now.
working.
I mean, like for real, I think there's always something to learn from everyone. Like, I'm not trying to be or fake or humble.
Mm-mm-mm.
Like, I meant it because even from my previous job, it is a big company. We have almost 150 people. Everyone takes up a different position. Everyone has so different characters, but it's just like, as much as maybe I don't approve of the way their working style, I find it really amazing that they be able to master their job the way they do, even
Mm,
from like the memories that they have. Like, dude, like, I guess especially with law firms, there are so many people who have really really good memories.
yeah.
I just I can't. I have. I won't say can't. I mean, I haven't got there yet. So I'm impressed by the memories. And some of them are just really like people person. They have such good like negotiation skills, or
Mm-hmm.
they're just super presentable.
Mm-hmm.
Like the way they talk on telephone, the way they talk to clients, everything.
Yeah.
It's just so many different skills to learn.
Yeah.
So yeah, if I one person that I look up to, not really. No one is in
Mm,
particular at the moment, but everyone adding up is like, wow. Like,
yeah.
even sometimes just by reading, like I drafted an email to the client, I sent it to my boss to let her approve, and she comes back with a way more structured email with how she like break down my points into three different other points,
Yeah.
just elaborated them in such a clear and tailored way that the client could understand. It's just even that, wow,
Mm,
it's just, why can't I think of that? Why?
mm,
I guess that's one thing with attention to details, or just with the analytical thinking. Like, I haven't got there yet.
yeah. Well, I think that's why there's a reason why we're still young. We're in our 20s. I think um, the fact that we are able to point out that, oh, these are the things that I know I'm lacking. These are the things that I want to improve on. These are the factors or skill sets that I look up to, that I want to gain. It's already the first step, right? Because if you don't give a shit, then it's a
You would
skill set that
never.
you'll never have, right?
Yeah, true. Baby steps taken,
Yeah.
spot it,
I think for
copy it, learn it.
I think for all the things that you said, like I would say you talked more about like the way people did things you look up to, like the skill sets that they have, you look up to
Yeah,
those
yeah.
specific things. I want to kind of add to that, like I would say like my current boss. Well, I have two bosses, but I work more closely with one, and I would say he has all the skill sets that you did mention, just in like a creative agency. And yeah, the ability to still be a decent human being and to able to work the way he works, the ability to just had a baby and still be able to work crazy hours. And I think what was I was gonna say something really cool. I forgot. I think overall, just like just to sum it up, like, oh yeah, I was gonna say he's really funny. The fact that wait, I have a point to that.
That's cool.
To be a boss, sometimes I feel like in my mindset, like I was always thinking like, oh, if me and Erica were a boss, or if I were a boss, like I want to be like super strict, or I want to be like super cool and like just very cold and stuff. But it's like that's actually really outdated, like to think that mindset. And I think the fact that I'm not scared of him and he gave me that trust to like, oh, just like I am as valuable as other people who work there for 10 years, 15 years, or as his co-founder. It is a really strong characteristic. Like it doesn't need to, what do you say, 貶低自己, 貶低其他人 to make himself feel like he's more in the hierarchy.
Yes.
And
totally
that was something.
Totally feel. I guess my current supervisor, right, as well.
Yeah.
The first day I joined, she was like, oh my God, I'm so glad you're here because I really need someone to help me out right now. Like I have so much stuff on my plate.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that from time to time. Just I don't need you to compliment me because I know my work is not there yet. But at least 唔好貶低啦，即係 like you don't have to go out of your way to put me in that position.
Exactly.
You know, just so you think that the pressure would uplift me.
Yeah.
No, it won't.
Yeah, I think this is a really refreshing way of working, and that's something that I really want to learn too. Like I don't really like to like say like, oh, if I'm working, like now we're kind of working together, say hypothetically like, oh, I didn't like something that you do, like I learned that like it's not effective to just 指罵 someone right from the batter, like right from the start. Like if I call you and be like, Erica, why did you like did this on the social media post? It like sucks, blah, 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 blah. Like I think I would do that like at the end of the call and like have a good transition and then compliment you at the first, or just be like, oh, thank you for taking the time to stepping up and do this social media post for us. I do think like just like a better segue to like, oh, like it's all about structuring, and I think that's far more convincing than just poking fingers and yelling at your employees.
Yeah, exactly. And and also like just try to separate everything. Like if they do something right, then just say it. If they did something wrong, also say it. Like don't try to, what do you say, like judge someone based on their history, from the history.
I agree. Just like so much to learn now, and I'm really it's a really good conversation because we're both in such different industries, but we do encounter these characteristics and these skill sets too, right? And that's really cool. But
do you want to move on to our last bit on the agenda?
Yeah. What is that? Oh, okay. I think this is a good wrap up. Just like for you, and after this conversation, and how long have you been working after you graduated? Like 5 years? 4 years? You did master graduate.
I did on and off, so it's kind of hard to do the math.
A few years.
Three years.
Okay.
Like adding up on total, probably just 3 years-ish.
Yeah. Okay. What are some like workplace dynamics / like good work ethics that you've encountered and you want to share?
Oh, there are just so many. So
Yeah.
many spoken and unspoken rules.
Mm.
You
You can
know
just
how
pick
like
your favorite ones.
okay. Well, just one thing I want to say because they always say like 學校係社會縮影啊嘛. So like school is like a miniature society, which is so
Okay.
true. The things you learn in school, like what we said just now, read the room. Like you don't just come in as a newbie and you just go to everyone and bro or sis
Yeah.
and talk to people in a not very workplace appropriate manner because
Mm.
people tend to do that. I don't even know why. Like yeah, you have to know when to do the right thing, when to say
Yeah.
the right thing.
Yeah.
And if you come in as a newbie, then maybe try to listen more, just to observe the way people interact with each other.
Yeah.
Not saying that you have to go behind their backs and try to gossip with some people, but at least you have to identify which group are in their own group, and don't like just maybe work hard and let your work speak for itself. I think
Mm-hmm.
that would be very, very helpful
Ooh.
as a starter at least.
Yeah, for sure. I would say for me, I just want to like sum it up into a fruit basket. And I think just because I feel like there's all these years, like I picked up so much stuff. And yeah, just a few would be, I think we talked about it, like the desire to improve. Like if you enjoy your job and you like the job, you want to improve and you want to do better. Therefore, you show the initiation and you do your above and beyond work.
Yeah.
I would say productivity is really important, whereas find the time. I would say it takes time to learn about yourself, like when you work best. Like if you're the type of person who has to take breaks every 45 minutes, do that, right? And make sure that's the way to stay productive, because I don't believe in just sitting and not being able to grab a drink or go to the bathroom and just stay for like at least 2-3 hours. Like if you're at one spot, I don't think that's productive, but you do you. Just pick out the right time for yourself. And I would say punctuality also. It's the first sign of, what do you call it, professionalism to your work, right? Because
Yeah,
before you
I think
even
so.
talk, people are seeing that, oh, you're already there, right? That already shows that you're mature and
Yeah.
you're aware of your time. Yeah.
That is like for every other like work outside of work events as well, I
Like
think.
friend
Punctuality.
meetings and stuff.
Yeah, like meeting your friends' parents, meeting your
Yes.
SO's parents.
Yes. For
Tying back.
sure. And I think just lastly, maturity to stay calm at all situations, and just know that I would say a lot of work situation is solvable, um, and it's being able to find ways to solve an issue. And when you don't know how to solve it, and you kind of want to ask the right questions to solve that issue. So I think just like structure yourself better, or and not just be like, oh, I don't know what to do, and just like look very frightened or just seem very uneasy or unsure. Like I think try to come off as more certain of yourself, or just be like, oh, telling your manager maybe, oh, sorry, I'm really unfamiliar with this, but maybe can you guide me on this thing? Like think before you speak. I would say that's quite important at a work
Yeah,
meeting.
yeah.
One
That's
more.
about asking the right questions, right?
Yes. And then just
Mm.
lastly, I would say stay open-minded. Whether you're at a job that you love, whether you're at a job that you don't love, that you hate, just yeah, I think there's no right or wrong to what job you should take. And there's no set rules of how your career ladder should go or how your career path could go. You could take a gap year. Um, and I just think that being able to kind of stay open-minded with whatever situation you're going through, and just yeah, learn to say no at the right time. That's it.
Yeah.
Is there
Okay.
anything more
There's
you want to add?
so many things. Not much, I guess.
Just a
Oh,
lot of
one more
unspoken.
thing. Just if you are to like at work, be at work, like try to be helpful and
Yes, for
don't trust
sure.
people. Don't trust people.
Don't trust people.
Don't trust people.
What do you mean,
I
like
trust them.
coworkers, or just in general?
Yeah, just in terms of work, like don't think that you can rely on someone to do your work.
Mm,
Always double check it
yeah,
because
for sure.
you never know. Like it's your own responsibility. Don't try
Stay
to slack.
accountable. Stay accountable. Yeah,
Exactly.
it's good. I
Yeah,
think that is it for our podcast.
yeah,
Right?
agreed. There's a lot of stuff
Thank.
to digest
Yeah.
and to hopefully everyone will learn something or will get something out of this.
Yes. So thank you guys for listening, and we hope your day is as peachy as this episode. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Like and rate this podcast on Spotify and iTunes.
Comment or DM us on any one of our social media platform as well. Talk to you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.